Well, actually, this is a good segue to we're talking about building walls. We're talking about insanely entitled and afraid suburban assholes who just hate and fear anyone or anything different than them, and also prank videos online.
Oh, hell yeah!
And I'm bringing this up because I came across this again today. Steven Crowder.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, woo.
My man.
Yeah, we've discussed him, I think, briefly on the show before. But
he has fought Islam so much by putting on a dress and like having sex with men just to own Islam.
He's like, his classic move is the Bugs Bunny as a girl thing, but like he puts on like a very bad
drag
outfit, and then like goes to the women's protest.
He's why the hidden imam stays hidden. He doesn't want to bump into Steve Crowder.
He does. His pranks are just like the dumbest, most thoughtless, like just immediate ideas. He makes James O'Keefe look like the Yes Men.
But okay, so like, well, his latest thing that I saw was that he did this video. I'm just reading here from Conservative Review. It says Steven Crowder exposes tax-free income and racism of illegals. And their write-up of his latest video is that Democrats like to say that the U.S. needs illegal immigrants because they will do the jobs that our Americans are too proud to, and that they benefit because they pay into the system. In his latest video, CRTV host Steven Crowder decided to investigate that myth with shocking results. Crowder and Not Gay Jared, that's his co-host, this goes by Not Gay Jared,
very normal.
hired themselves out regular
man.
It said hired themselves out as day laborers and competed with migrant workers for work. The illegal immigrant workers did not like that competition at all. So basically, Crowder and Not Gay Jared, like they do like a sting where Crowder like pulls up to like a group of day laborers in his like giant pickup truck to negotiate like for like a day's work, and then his friend who's with them underbids all of the Mexicans, and then he's like, okay, I want that guy, like you hop in the back, and then like they get Mexicans in the back of the truck and then ask for their papers and then yell at them when they don't have them and shit. So I want to just play you a little of this video because it was
Please don't.
sick of it. Okay.
This is also
just for context.
This is also a classic bit from the Tom Green show, which was 1,000 times funnier, I'm sure, which was called Undercutter's Pizza, where he'd follow around a pizza delivery man to houses and then offer a pizza while the delivery guy was up at the door for half the price. And then,
Wait, I remember that.
yeah,
The Man Show also did a bit like this, where they pulled a day laborer and then like took him to get a manicure and shit, and just hang out for a day.
yeah. So he's a fucking thief.
All right. We're going to play only a little bit of this.
These individuals don't necessarily have a great affinity for American pride, paying taxes, white people, or good old competition.
Same.
Hey, you guys have papers? You guys have papers? I need papers. Do you have papers? There's no call ice, you motherfuckers.
So if you caught that there, that was using mariachi music after they literally just said, we'll call ice on you motherfuckers to some Mexican day laborers.
Hilarious.
Crowder, yeah, great bit, right?
Oh my
Great.
God.
Really,
One of the-
really
one of the
funny.
greats.
Yeah.
Very funny.
So that's Crowder, and I saw that, and honestly, it turned my stomach so fucking much. But I remembered that Crowder had a great article a while ago about
virginity.
About virginity,
Yeah.
about how he got married the right way.
Yeah.
And I think I think it goes a little something like this. So this is the headline here. This is the Fox News opinion. Waiting till the wedding night, getting married the right way, by one Steven Crowder. And the headline, of course, there's a photo of him and his lovely bride. He goes, as anyone who's read my abstinence column here at Fox News Opinion could guess. And abstinence column, of course, does have a hyperlink, and I clicked it. And this goes straight to just another article from 2 years prior that says, why not having sex might be good for you. And he says here, sex, some of us do it, most of us like it, and we all think about it a lot. I know I do, though I was once told that it was normal. Getting busy really isn't the taboo subject that it once was. So he goes on to talk about how, abstinence is the only taboo left. And if you tell people that you're abstinent, they think that you're not cool. But that's because in his
that's a checkered handkerchief.
Yeah. So he says, as anyone who's read my abstinence column can guess, my wedding is something I've looked forward to for quite some time. After having tied the knot at the end of August, I can now say beyond all shadow of a doubt that it was everything I'd hoped and prayed that it would be since childhood. I'd also prayed to be bitten by a radioactive spider and develop sticky hands, but I was an idiot. That's it. That's humor. He's just keeping it light and funny there.
All right.
That's funny.
He's a humorist in addition to being an abstinence columnist.
Yeah. Let me preface this column by saying, my wife, I have to get used to saying that.
Borat.
My wife and I not only waited sexually in every way, no, we didn't pull the Bill Clinton and technically avoid sex.
Hell yeah.
But we didn't shack up.
That's right, I busted a nut in her, fam.
We didn't shack up as live-ins, and most importantly, we courted each other in a way that was consistent with our publicly professed values. We did it right.
OTPHJ, over the pants hand job.
Yep.
Classic.
And he goes, feeling judged? I couldn't care less. You know why? Because my wife and I were judged all throughout our relationship. People laughed, scoffed, and poked fun at the young, celibate, naive Christian couple. I think they were poking fun at you and laughing at you.
No, they fucking didn't.
Well,
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, there's nobody...
Everyone avoided talking to you.
Yeah.
Which is what everyone does because you're a grotesque
Wait,
monster.
you guys know that Steven Crowder is from the show Arthur. You know that.
What?
Steven Crowder was one of the voices in the animated show Arthur.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, he wasn't Arthur.
No, get the fuck out of here.
No,
yes, he was.
true.
It's
He
true.
was.
No, he's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
he must be living off those residuals because certainly his show doesn't.
Well, no,
make
he
any
wasn't
money.
like a main character. He's like a
he was
minor
one of
voice
the,
actor.
Yeah, he was one of like the bunny or I don't know, whatever.
No, he wasn't the bunny.
No, not the bunny. I don't know.
Star.
Yeah. He wasn't one of the stars. He was just like a voice actor.
No, there was Arthur the Aardvark, and then there was his sister DW the cunt, and
wow.
and she used to fuck everything up.
No, DW is a queen. She's in all of the memes. That
You know what?
I think she was
ironic?
CUNT, and I know Amber's not in the room right now, so I know I'm with my dogs right now. But I didn't like her.
What's your problem with a woman who speaks up for herself?
I don't know if she spoke up for herself. I think she used to fuck with Arthur's shit all the time. But he was going through some serious changes in life, and he was at an age where he was, maybe hormones were coursing through his body, and we've all seen the famous picture of him with the headphones on the side of his head when his ears were on the top of his head. We know he's just struggling with growing up, and his sister was always there just to highlight how big of a loser he was, and I think that's pretty jacked up. That's friggin' jacked up.
I don't know why your reading of the situation is centered on Arthur and his issues,
he's the protagonist.
and his values.
And
what about
identified.
her issues and her inner life? And her
Aardvark women
values?
are never centered. It's true.
I think that she was a bully and a troll, and I think Arthur I identified with because I was around the same age as him, and I was probably going through some of the same aardvark problems.
Okay, so there was Arthur, there's DW.
Isn't it
there's-
ironic how Arthur
DW was named after D.W. Griffith.
yeah.
Who was the famous racist filmmaker.
Yeah. If you thought the stuff that she did that made it into the show was bad,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty ironic that Arthur is such a big hit on Black Twitter, whereas Steven is such a big hit with people who fantasize about murdering black people.
The crossover.
Yeah.
Wait, so who was Steven on the show, Arthur?
We could look it up. I mean, he was one of the guys. Yeah.
I'm sure someone will figure it out. But
One of the ancillary. That show.
yeah.
They're still making that show, right?
Arthur.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I think they are.
Yeah, bring Steven back to Arthur.
My dad he said that we were in trouble because he was getting rid of the cable, but I think he got in a dispute with the fucking cable company, and he's like, "We're getting rid of cable. We're gonna read books," and then I just started watching PBS.
he was the voice of Brain
Brain.
on Arthur during seasons 5 and 6.
Yeah, he's not living
oh,
up
he was the
residuals from
voice
that.
of Brain, but he didn't get Brain until he was 27.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, one of those
Wow.
things.
Well,
Wow, going down the Arthur rabbit hole.
fucks to
so to speak.
The aardvark hole. Yeah. So back to Crowder here. He says, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, like okay. So he's pretending that everyone mocked him, which, as Matt pointed out, like A, nobody probably talked to him, and B, there's nobody in his social circle that would think less of him for being as big of an asshole as he is. So he goes. Everyone said that we'd never make it to our wedding without shtupping, and if he's stealing Jewish valor right there. By the way.
Yeah. Well, it's like classic comedy speak.
And if we did, our wedding night would be awkward and terrible, they said. Turns out people couldn't have been more wrong. Looking back, I think that the women saying those things, he says women saying those things, not men. The women saying those things. The women saying those things felt like floozies they ultimately were. And the men, with their fickle manhood tied to their pathetic sexual conquests, felt threatened. So he goes on and on about this. And they're like, what I like about this story is that it's not just him bragging about how good his wedding night was with his virginal bride. Is that he talks about how like he says the day after we ate breakfast at a local inn, we discussed how excited we were to start the rest of our lives together, how scary it was that everything was now so different. At the same time, we overheard the table next to us discussing their very own wedding night from the night prior. What a coincidence! The thing is, nothing's really changed, the bride said. Puzzled, my wife asked.
This happened.
Did you get married last night too? So did we. Congratulations, the other dame said. Yeah, we did, just last night.
Disgusting.
Where's the groom, my wife innocently, scratch that naively, asked. Oh, he's sleeping. There was no way he was coming out with me this morning. She paused and smirked. Let's just say he's got a lingering headache from a really good time last night. My heart sank. Firstly, that poor schmuck's good time was simply getting snookered, not enjoying the company of close family and long-lost friends with a clear head and clean conscience, not staring in awe at his beautiful new wife, wanting to soak in every glimmer of her eyes as she shot him heart-racing looks from across the dance floor, not taking all of the cheesy pictures as they cut the cake, even carrying her across the sweet threshold as they nervously anticipated their nightcap. He probably won't even remember any of it. Instead, he got smashed. He was that guy at his own freaking wedding. So I like that he's taking this opportunity to shit on this totally imaginary couple. Which, once again, didn't happen. And
that he made up.
But like he just made up this person and just being like, because the guy's sleeping in, he just assumes that he was like too shit-faced.
Also,
so, like,
what does that have to do with fucking? Right?
It's alcohol.
He's saying that alcohol is bad. He doesn't say that premarital sex is bad.
Well,
I mean, he should just convert to Wahhabism.
Yeah,
if he
it's true.
cares that much about alcohol.
So he goes on and on. He says, then I realized something. Our wedding was truly a once-in-a-lifetime event. It was a God's honest celebration of two completely separate lives now becoming one, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. Everything that made us who we were individually was becoming what bonded us together. Our family travel. So like, blah, 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 blah. I'm glad he had a wonderful wedding. I'm glad he's so happy with his wife or whatever. But I like that he needed to invent a theoretical other couple to shit on. Mm-hmm. And then he just goes at the end and says, your wedding can be the most memorable night of your life or just another party. Oops, did I just make a judgment? You're darn right I did.
Oh, bitch, go off. I mean, isn't this just all conservatism? You do something that's uncomfortable and shitty and kind of sucks, and then to justify why you're doing it, why you're following these completely arcane, weird rules that, like, if you want to follow them, fine, but you think you're a better person for having done them. Like, you have to invent people that are being mean to you.
Like, I genuinely
I don't give a
care
shit. Yeah.
at all if you want to remain abstinent until wedding and you want to have that kind of relationship. I don't know anyone who would judge someone for that if that's what they've chosen to do. I will laugh and judge at fucking a piece of shit like Steven Crowder every time he opens his mouth because first of all, I don't believe him and his wife were actually virgins until marriage. Second of all, he's only doing this and writing this so that he can call women who don't wait until have marriage floozies and harlots and say that the other pathetic men were just, weak compared to me because, my cock got in there first. No one else has ever been in there but me.
So, Will, if I recall correctly, Stephen his like original grift was he was like a comedian, right? Like a stand-up comic.
Yeah. He was like a conservative comic.
Yeah, conservative comic. And then he did this abstinence column, I guess, and he keeps alluding to being a Christian, but never really specifying it. So like any of these values are just skin deep. And then after Breitbart happens, he realized that, the real grift is in this like the shock videos, and so he started like doing like just the most execrable pranks against the most vulnerable people in society.
Well, it was like the video he just did with these day laborers, where he's like, fact one, they hate white people. Fact two, like, and he goes on about how like $400 a day, that's 50. He'll do a little math here. That's 50 grand a year, tax free. Like. And I'm like, good. I hope they're getting 50 grand a year tax free.
They're absolutely not getting.
Yeah, they're not,
exactly.
Do you think they're working like?
Yeah, they're working every
day,
fucking day. Yeah.
This is like this is an obsession that's on the right, but I also see it on like on Imgur people about not about day laborers, but about homeless people.
Yeah.
That's like, you shouldn't give money to homeless people. They make $25 an hour. It's like everyone is like, I'm in the know. If I go to a large urban area, I don't give money to the homeless people because it's all a scam. And like from my perspective, I think if you're gonna sit on the sidewalk and just kind of look dour hour after hour, then I think that's worth $25 an hour.
Who gives a shit? People make $100 million a year because they were just really good at selling, just tricking people into buying these shitty financial instruments. If like just some guy, if he's gonna pay the price of like flattening his nuts, like fine, I don't care. People grift the system way worse than that. At least he's spending it on something cool like Fent. And not,
my friend's a mind freak street magician, and
the guy who broke his dick.
Yeah, he broke. Our friend. Yeah. He's some might call what he does a grift, but I think it's pretty cool.
But like it broadly, like Crowder, like he's gone through like several iterations. But like his main one is that like he was trying to be like the conservative who has the bite of the political comedy apple.
Yeah.
But like they can never get their teeth around it, And I guess like I'm wondering, like there have been attempts at it, there have been stabs at this, but like
after that video,
Red Eye,
Red Eye, and like that kind of thing, like, and it's just like they're all sort of stillborn, and like it's both because they're genuine, like the people that it's not like there are unfunny people with reactionary opinions out there, but it's just the people who they always line up for this are terribly unfunny.
Well, as I think we've discussed before, and Felix pointed out, and Matt, it's because they get too mad.
Yeah,
like once they get too into the weeds of their joke, they start to realize how mad they are about how the libs run everything, and then they just end up doing a rant, which isn't actually comedy. And the other thing is that, of course, Steven Crowder thought he hit the big time with the help of Andrew Breitbart by becoming Fox News's resident impish, provocateur. Kind of a pre-Jesse Waters or parallel Jesse Waters, but they let him go because, as one Fox News executive said, he's not very funny.
No, he's not. And like from that video we saw, it's that's like the big payoff is just screaming, "I'm going to call ICE on you."
He said, "We're going to call ICE, motherfucker," over mariachi music.
It's like, you're a monster.
He got knocked
You're an
out.
execrable person.
He got knocked out by that trucker.
Old fat union guy.
Yeah,
that was the funniest thing he ever did. But like
that was the funniest thing he ever did.